Welcome to our journey through time as we explore the fascinating history of costumes in scenography. From the greatness of ancient Greek theater to the tangled designs of modern cinema, costumes have always played a pivotal role in bringing stories to life. Let's dive into how this art form has evolved over the centuries and take a closer look at some iconic examples from modern movies. Costumes in scenography are like magic wands for storytelling. They transform actors into characters, set the stage for the time and place, and add flair to the overall atmosphere. Ancient times. Our story begins in ancient Greece, where theater was a heart of cultural life. Costumes were essential in these performances, with actors get dressed in exaggerated masks and robes to portray gods, heroes, and mythical creatures. These costumes were not just about aesthetics. They helped magnify the actors' expressions and voices, ensuring that even those seated far from the stage could grasp the emotions and identities of the characters. Medieval and Renaissance theater. As we move into the medieval period, costumes in theater became more and more detailed. Theatricals depicted biblical stories, with actors wearing costumes that were rich in symbolism. By the Renaissance, European theater saw a significant transformation with the advent of more detailed and historically accurate costumes, reflecting the growing interest in realism and humanism. This era gave birth to iconic playwrights like Shakespeare, whose characters were brought to life with elaborate costumes that mirrored the fashions of the time. '18th and 19th century theater. The 18th and 19th centuries marked a significant evolution in costume design, influenced by the growing popularity of grand opera, ballet, and the developing middle class's appetite for theater. This era became a blend of historical accuracy and artistic interpretation in costume design, often involving prominent painters and designers from various European countries. In France, artists like Jean-Baptiste Martin and Louis-René Bocquet were instrumental in shaping the aesthetics of theatrical costumes. Bocquet, in particular, was known for his elaborate designs for the Royal Opera of Versailles, where he combined complicated embroidery, luxurious fabrics, and rich colors to reflect the magnificence of the French court. His work represents the majesty of French theater and the emphasis on visual spectacle. In England, costume design in the 18th and 19th centuries was heavily influenced by historical dramas and the works of Shakespeare. One notable designer was Inigo Jones, who, although primarily an architect, designed masks and costumes that were richly detailed and historically inspired. His designs set a standard for English theater, blending classical influences with contemporary fashion of the time. In Italy, the influence of the Commedia dell'arte continued to be felt, with its distinct, character-specific costumes becoming more delicate. Artists like Giuseppe Galli Bibbiena, a well-known scenographer and painter, contributed significantly to theatrical costume design. Bibbiena's work was characterized by its attention to perspective, which extended to his costume designs, reflecting the brilliance of Italian opera and theater. Across Germany and Austria, the influence of the Romantic movement brought a focus on emotion and nature, reflected in the costumes designed for operas and plays. Designers like Carl Friedrich Schinkel in Germany, who was also a notable architect and painter, created costumes that combined romantic aesthetics with historical accuracy, enhancing the emotional depth and realism of the performances. Early 20th century and Hollywood's golden age. The early 20th century brought the magic of cinema, revolutionizing costume design. Hollywood's golden exposure of costume designers as stars in their own right. Designers like Edith Head and Adrian created iconic looks that not only defined characters, but also influenced fashion trends worldwide. Films like Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz showcased the power of costume design in creating unforgettable cinematic experiences. Modern times and contemporary cinema. Today, the role of costumes in scenography is more important than ever. Let's take a look at some modern examples that highlight the artistry and impact of costume design in film. The Mask. In The Mask, costume designer Han Nguyen faced the challenge of translating the vibrant, exaggerated world of comic books into a live-action film. The character of The Mask, played by Jim Carrey, is known for his outrageous and energetic style, which is perfectly captured by his iconic yellow suit. This suit, with its oversized shoulders and wide lapels, is a direct homage to the extraordinary and exaggerated style of 1940s swing and jazz culture, fitting perfectly with the film's brisk and surreal aesthetic. Nguyen carefully researched and drew inspiration from classic comic book art and 1940s fashion to design costumes that would be both visually striking and functional for the film's dynamic action scenes. The bold colors and sharp lines of the costumes help to emphasize the cartoonish qualities of the characters, making them pop on screen. Cameron Diaz's character, Tina Carlisle, showcased a different side of costume design in the film. Her glamorous, form-fitting dresses were inspired by the classic Hollywood starlets of the 1940s and 1950s, emphasis, elegance, and sophistication. One of her most memorable outfits is the sparkling dress she wears during her nightclub performance. This dress, with its sequins and figure-hugging silhouette, highlights her character's allure and the film's blend of old-school glamour and modern sensibility. Han Nguyen's use of costumes in The Mask not only reflected the comic book origins, but also enhanced the film's unique visual style. The detailed sketches and careful attention to color and fabric choices played a crucial role in bringing the fantastical world of The Mask to life. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. In stark contrast, the costumes in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo are grounded in reality and reflect the dark, misty tone of the story. Costume designer Trish Somerville played a crucial role in defining the visual identity of the film's main characters, particularly Lisbeth Salander, portrayed by Rooney Mara. Somerville's approach to Lisbeth's wardrobe was inspired by punk and goth subcultures, reflecting the character's rebellious and tough persona. She collaborated closely with director David Fincher and Rooney Mara to ensure the costumes felt authentic and true to the character's backstory. The process involved extensive research and multiple fittings to get the look just right. Lisbeth's wardrobe features a mix of leather jackets, hoodies, ripped jeans, and heavy boots, followed by various piercings and tattoos. This rugged, layered look not only reveals her resistance and resilience, but also her vulnerability and complexity. Each piece of clothing and accessory was carefully chosen to tell a part of Lisbeth's story, from her dark, protective exterior to the hints of vulnerability underneath. For Michael Blomkvist, played by Daniel Craig, Somerville opted for a more understated, yet equally diligent approach. His wardrobe consists of practical, casual clothing that reflects his role as an investigative journalist. The simple, utilitarian style contrasts sharply with Lisbeth's edgy look, highlighting the differences between the two characters while also suggesting their complementary strengths. The Favorite. The Favorite offers a lavish look at early 18th century England with a modern twist. Costume designer Sandy Powell created impressive, historically inspired costumes that also play with contemporary elements. Powell's work in The Favorite stands out for its inventive use of period clothing to serve the film's narrative and thematic purposes. The costumes in The Favorite are mainly crafted in a monochromatic palette of blacks, whites, and silvers, deviating from the typical rich colors associated with the era. This choice emphasizes the film's dark humor and the strong power dynamics at play. The use of black and white color schemes is also a nod to director Yorgos Lanthimos' unique vision, which blends historical accuracy with an avant-garde twist. The silhouettes and fabrics are true to the early 18th century, featuring corsets, petticoats, and detailed gowns. However, Powell introduced anachronistic details, such as using denim for some garments, to give the costumes a modern sensibility. This blend of the old and new helps to underline the timelessness of the film's themes of ambition, power, and manipulation. Each character's costume is carefully designed to reflect their personality and status. Queen Anne, played by Olivia Colman, is often dressed in large, heavy gowns that convey her authority, but also hint at her physical and emotional imprisonment. Rachel Weisz's character, Sarah Churchill, Duchess of Marlborough, is dressed in more masculine, tailored garments, reflecting her control and self-confident nature. In contrast, Emma Stone's character, Abigail Hill, starts with simpler, more soft costumes, which become increasingly complicated as she rises in power. The attention to detail in The Favorite extends to accessories and undergarments, ensuring that the actors move and inhabit their roles authentically. The result is a visually stunning film where the costumes play a crucial role in storytelling, enhancing the characters' arcs and the film's satirical edge. Conclusion. From the ancient stages of Greece to the high-tech sets of modern cinema, costumes have been crucial to storytelling. They help define characters, set the tone, and let to audiences dive into different worlds. Whether through the fantastical flair of The Mask, the tangled realism of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, or the aristocratic satire of The Favorite, costumes continue to be a vital element of scenography, shaping the way we experience stories on screen. Thank you for joining my channel on this journey through the history of costumes and scenography. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights from the world of vivid language of costume design.